Hey guys, what's up? Jimmy back. Okay. Hey, Jimmy back here. You guys probably here. I'll do, I think, one live stream. I did have a face cam. Or I didn't. Yeah, let's do face cam. Yeah, here we go, guys. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go. So, today, we are going to react to, I guess we can do Try Not to Laugh. Man, my thing froze. Crap. Nobody wants this anymore. Yeah, okay, now face cam. There we go. My face cam was glitching out for me. I don't know why. So, yeah. If anybody's watching this after, obviously you're not gonna get to watch it live, but you still get to watch it, so trying not to laugh. Okay. Yes, SpongeBob. Let's go. Oh, my face cam just got weird. Yeah, let's not do that.
And to think we joined the Best Friends Forever Club.
Oh, I've been fallen. I'm sorry. I've been fallen.
Is
Sweet potato.
an instrument? You need to shut the fuck up.
Hey, Patrick, what am I now?
Stupid?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if it's more coffee. Okay, let's go. Okay, ready? My face. Okay, understood. Let's begin.
If we sing that song, he'll come to life. Ready?
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-step.
That's kind of funny. No,
What do you need?
grinning doesn't count. Okay, guys.
Cheesecake.
Wait. I missed it.
You guys might want to back
Let's just rewind that for a second.
What do you need? Cheesecake.
But I don't laugh. I got one more life.
All right, everybody, listen up. This is important to our survival as a species. The Fitness Gram Pacer test.
Okay, here we go. Wait, she got it. Run.
I love this job. Oh, that. What are those?
This is great. Just the three of us. You, me, and this brick wall you built between.
I have to apologize. Miss Universe 2015.
Except you gave me the
Oh my gosh!
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a
Attention, zoo patrons!
Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity
Victory screech!
How about a little music?
And now for the #1 song. Panda, 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 panda. I got broad.
He needs some milk.
Nemo!
I am the one, don't wait your time, don't need a gun to get respect. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white vans. Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white vans. Thirsty, man. Damn.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot. Get it from Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot. Get it from morning. Yeah, the sun in my morning bed.
Hey, SpongeBob, wanna see my new shoes?
Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the white van.
We have technology.
None of you wet-heads would last a minute on my turf.
Do we have to wear pickle jars?
Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily.
What is fun? Let me spell it for you. F is for
Free Shavakadoo. Free Shavak.
Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
Everyone. Oh, I'm gonna do two things. Yeah, I totally spelled that wrong. No, I dare you. I don't know if I delete that video. That video. Yeah.
You need to do the burgers. We gotta cook all the burgers, so even if they got a warm. He's doing burgers. We discussed we have to do the burger because it's gonna be no good. Well, he ain't gonna be here tomorrow, so that burger will be bad by Thursday, right? That's what I'm saying. And make it all, even if he's got to have one to warm up for Thursday. It'll still be fine.
Man, this stuff hard. I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna click no. Man, some of these. Oh, yeah, let's do this. If Why jump? I'm about to say no to this. Man, if that was supposed to scare me, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, let's just watch like this. You guys can see my face better right there. Yeah, right there. That's sketchy. Chico. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely Gmod. I'm pretty sure it is. Again. Guys, I have no idea what just happened there. My face came down, everything was shut down. I don't know if you guys saw that. Oh, my live stream is done. Oh! Man. than me. Oh, this ain't Trevor. Okay, guys, I'm gonna... Oh, I am doing a... Yeah, you guys, I'm just gonna cut my face cam out for a second so I can actually see stuff. Can I pause? No? Okay. Man. There I can, like, make it so you guys can't see. Okay, guys, let's get my face cam back. There we go. Let's just get this back up. Oh, it's crap, what's his name? That jukebox thingy. What's it called? Crap. Puppet Master. Man. How did my live stream restart? Hold on, guys. I gotta... Hold on. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Man, what happened? Okay, so I'm gonna put that back here. Move that.
What it is, guys?
Put that, no.
How long is it?
That there, hit that there, hit that there. Hit that there. Okay. Put this back. Put this back. Oh, hi. Are you Trevor or Tyler? Tyler, sorry. If that's you, Tyler, leave down a comment below. Leave in the comments if that's you. Oh, finally somebody watched one. Okay. I ain't got nobody watching me. I'm taking my thing off. That is in a way. Okay. Oops. Man. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Boom. I wonder if it's getting those. Oh, he's watching. Oh, Tyler, you probably can't send comments because you gotta sign in. Yeah, so okay. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. This isn't that hard. I've done it before. Yeah, there we go. This is nope, 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 and nope. Nope, 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 nope. I've already done it. Done it before. It's done. I've already done it. I did it before and I screamed like a little girl. I'm not ashamed of what I did. No, I'm just kidding. Man, that one, the scariest try not to get scared challenge. That looks sketchy. Like, just look at that face though. Don't get scared. He doesn't want me to get scared, but I'm gonna get scared right away. Man, I don't know what to do. Yep.
Welcome back, guys. So today we have a really creepy video. Try not to get scared challenge, true stories. These are 100% true, which makes it even more creepy. So if you're 100% sure you want to take this challenge, give this video a big huge thumbs up. And these are field trip stories. Like, I used to love going on field trips, but apparently these took a bad turn. And they involve kids, okay? That's not cool.
I used to be in the Darien School District in Connecticut during my middle and high school days. It was a wealthier district, and a lot of field trips were offered to the students.
Yeah, no. Nobody want them field trip. They suck. Watched them so many times. Should I just do it? No, I don't. Mia. I don't really care. I spelled watch wrong. Honestly, I didn't even mean to type that. Didn't mean to type watch wrong. Yeah. No, bye. Really, I really don't care about that anymore. That's bye. If anybody's watching, just leave in the comments. So just leave if you got a YouTube channel, leave your YouTube channel name. I'll sub. Leave a like, leave comments, do whatever you want. I got the comments box open, so I can read whatever you say. Oh, Piggy Man. Okay. Let's do this one.
No.
This is a try not to laugh challenge, or?
Okay, let's do it.
The fire burning.
Man, what a great intro. Totally not gonna
Alright
copy
then,
it.
guys. As you know, I'm sweating right now. Scary shit and over 1,000 likes. Rats. Oh my god. Not African babies. Fuck you.
don't want any cussing, because then you guys don't
What it is, guys?
Definitely not that one. Yeah, let's react to one that somebody else is reacting to, because I don't want to do it by myself. Ain't nobody doing it by themselves. Yeah, let's do them. Yeah, okay. I saw these people at the top. Man. Where are they? Nah. Yeah.
I'm on the new Weight Watchers freestyle program, and this is how I freestyle. I've lost 82 pounds, and I can eat wherever I want.
The new Weight Watchers freestyle program has over 200 foods that are 0 points. Now you can count less and enjoy more. Join for free and get 1 month free.
Welcome back, guys. Today, it is happening. Try not to get scared challenge. Basically, I found some really scary videos, and if you get scared, you lose. Woo! Good luck, guys. Alright, I never used Tinder in my life. Maybe you guys did, maybe you guys didn't, but it's basically where you meet new people. These are scary stories of things that happen on Tinder. Video looks
I'll never forget the first time I used Tinder. It was 2015 during winter break when everyone was back home from college. I figured since I didn't have a girlfriend and didn't have much going on, why not try the app that everyone was talking about? It was like 8 or 9 p.m. on a Thursday night, which was peak hours in terms of activity for the app. I downloaded the app onto my phone, and it was time to set up my profile. I spent a good 10 minutes browsing through my photo albums and found 4 flattering photos of myself that I thought would catch people's attention.
Gotta find the good photos.
I wasn't really experienced with the whole witty, funny Tinder bio thing that guys are apparently supposed to do. So I just wrote a few things about myself, like that I was 6
Am I
feet.
just gonna stare at this the
I'd
whole
probably do
time?
that. That is the sketchiest thing.
Across the street were one of those huge pieces of land surrounded by trees that was dug out deep to collect water during rainfall.
So
and the neighboring houses were kind of spaced out. A red flag went off in my head when I noticed 2 cars in the driveway. I texted her saying I was there, and she replied, "KK, go around back, the front door is loud." I replied, "Are your parents home or something?" But she didn't answer this time. I got out of the car and slowly walked around the house, noticing there was no fence to separate the front yard from the back. There was a window on the side of the house, and as I passed it, I realized there was an opening in the blinds. Someone was holding it up, but as soon as I noticed, the blinds fell back into place. I texted her again, saying, "Was that you at the window?" No response. This was a little creepy now.
Don't do it.
I continued walking slowly to the backyard, thinking that I could hear sounds coming from back there. For example, the brief sound of a yard chair scraping against the concrete. I became so nervous to turn that corner into the backyard that I froze at the edge of the brick wall.
Don't do
Just
it.
ever so gradually poked my head around the corner to see if anyone was in the backyard. As far as I could tell, nobody was back there. So I walked to the back door. It was a really old sliding glass door, so I could partially see into the house. Another thing I realized just then that raised more red flags. Not a single light was on in the house.
Oh my
I told
god.
myself I'd text her one more time, and if she didn't
Yeah, I was gonna turn my face cam on, but there we go,
respond,
guys.
I was out of there. I took out my phone and texted her, saying, "I'm at the back door, where are you?" She responded within 10 seconds, saying, "Come in."
That is the sketchiest thing. It probably is like a guy, like a group of friends that want to rob him. Like, all the red flags are there.
I wasn't comfortable entering that house. I decided to call her for the first time.
Once again, change my face cam.
But after entering the number, the screen said Text Now audio call. Text Now is one of those iPhone apps that allow you to use a fake phone number for calls and texts. That meant this whole time, whoever this was using a fake phone number. However, the most disturbing part of this was when I heard the sound of a ringtone coming from right behind the glass door, as if somebody were leaning against the wall, hiding. And now as I looked more closely into the house, I could see the glow from a phone screen right next to the door, which confirmed that somebody was hiding there. I didn't run. I tried to draw as little attention as possible by simply walking back around the house in the opposite direction I came from to avoid being seen through the door. When I was out of possible view, I ran full speed to my car and drove home.
My God.
I didn't check my texts until I got back home. I had 15 new messages waiting for me, about 12 of them asking, "Where'd you go? Why'd you leave? Come back," and so on. The last 3 were more disturbing, though. The first of the last 3 messages said, "I'm not actually a 20-year-old, but I'm sure you figured that out by now." The next one was, "No laws were broken, LOL, good luck." And the last one was, "I know exactly what you look like and I have your number."
So it was like a fake photo, fake profile. That could be anybody. And now they have their phone number and they know what they look like. That is the creepiest thing ever. And that's on Tinder. That could happen to anybody.
I blocked his fake number and went to report and unmatch him on Tinder, but he had already done that. The whole thing was something straight out of a nightmare, but luckily I never got any calls or texts from anyone suspicious, and I was able to forget about it quickly. I've used Tinder a few times since then, but just for fun. She seemed to take charge and set up a time and place to meet. She said she wanted to hang in a small park by her house first at 10 o'clock.
In a small park, middle of nowhere at 10 o'clock.
Man, that's sketchy.
It was a little odd, but I was down. I literally counted the minutes until around 9:45 when I decided it was time to leave. Before leaving, I sent a quick confirmation text, and she said she was still down to meet. The drive to this small residential park was maybe 10 minutes, so I got there a little early. I walked over to the swing set, the exact point where she wanted to meet.
I'm scared.
I didn't want to let her know I was early because I thought that might make me seem needy or anxious. So I waited until exactly 10:02 on the dot to text her saying I was there. This was when she stopped responding. 10:05, 10:10, sitting there waiting with no response. Of course, at first I figured she was driving and couldn't check her phone, but as the minutes passed, that idea started to become less realistic, and the idea that she flaked was becoming more realistic. The playground area was surrounded by trees. In fact, this whole park was very woodsy, and having been a weeknight, nobody was out and about at this time. So honestly, it was kind of creepy sitting in that park alone.
Leave!
The only reason I could see was because of the motion-detecting light mounted onto the small bathroom shack. In one direction, the park turned to complete woods for miles, while in the other direction, beyond a few trees, was the neighborhood road. I was sitting on the swing, pushing back and forth in boredom and disappointment.
Oh my gosh.
When I froze, the sounds of the squeaky metal swing chain stopped, allowing me to hear something echo out from the little bathroom shack. It sounded like, a typical sound you'd expect to hear from inside one of those bathrooms. Like somebody pressing down on the handle of the paper towel dispenser, or something like that. What I'm trying to say, it sounded intentional, meaning someone might have been in there. Now this wouldn't be a completely strange thing, after all it's a public park. Only I would have thought that they would lock the bathrooms up at this hour.
Oh my
Who
God.
else would actually be in this tiny park at 10:15 on a weeknight? Then I suddenly felt a vibration in my pocket. So excited, I whipped out the phone and saw a new text from Michelle. The text said exactly this. "Hey, just got here. Come into the bathroom. I have a surprise for you."
That is the sketchiest thing I've probably ever heard in my entire life. Like a pretty girl, in like her young 20s, meet a guy, like a stranger, in the bathroom. That's so sketchy.
My heart dropped as I read this. I felt butterflies in my stomach. Not like an innocent nervousness, more like a disturbed and freaked out feeling.
You have to be dumb to like fall
My
for that.
thumbs were hovering over the phone as I was conjuring up something to type in response. Then she sent another text saying, "Get off the swing and come here." As I read the text, I looked up to the tiny bathroom building and opened my mouth, almost ready to scream, when I saw half of a person's face peering out from the entrance from one of the bathrooms,
Well, that's
peering over to
creepy.
me on the swing.
Dang.
For maybe half a second did I actually see a good portion of their face, though, because they slowly moved out of sight. To be honest, in the heat of the moment, I couldn't even tell if it was a male or female. But I knew something bad was going on, and I knew I was disturbed as hell by this situation. So I got off the swing quietly and tiptoed away from the playground. When I was far enough away, I ran for it back to my car.
Dang, Tinder.
That run back to my car itself was one of the most horrific experiences of my life, because I had the constant fear of somebody chasing me in the back of my mind. As soon as I locked my car, I was able to pause for a breather. But up until that point, nothing compared to the gut-wrenching fear that I felt when I took one last look into the park and saw a grown man emerge from the trees running towards my car.
Grown man. Dang.
I turned the key in the ignition and practically threw the car in drive before it was even fully started.
Gotta go.
When I was halfway down the road and looked back, there was nobody in the street. When I pulled into my driveway, I sat there for 10 minutes, thinking and reflecting. I felt like I had become a changed person at that moment. Like I knew what it truly felt like to appreciate life after having my life threatened.
That's true, actually, yeah.
I deleted my Tinder account and then deleted the app.
Tinder's evil.
I didn't tell any of my family members besides my older brother. I've had a girlfriend for the past 2 months, so luckily, I don't even have to think about using that app anymore. My little sister and I, along with a few of her friends, were going camping in a forest in Maine.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the name of it. She wanted me to go because I'm older and more experienced with camping. But was it weird camping with a bunch of 14-year-old girls? Yes. I won't share my sister's name, but her friends were Casey, Barbara, and Lexi.
Okay.
My sister insisted I slept in a separate tent than her and her friends, and I was okay with that.
That's good.
So we brought 2 tents. Along with that, I packed the usual camping supplies: food, water, tools, and in my case, a rifle. I always take a gun with me while camping, just because I'm a paranoid guy, and I always want to feel protected while in the middle of the woods at night. After a pretty long day, I helped the girls set up their tents, and then I worked on mine alone as they were all sitting in theirs, gossiping or talking about whatever 14-year-old girls talk about. When I finished, I put the fire out. Being the older brother, I of course felt responsible for my sister and her friends. So I moved the tent really close to theirs, turned on my reading light, and continued where I left off in the book I was reading. The chattering of the girls in the next tent over was a bit distracting. At one point I heard them talking about a certain boy. Then the conversation switched to Snapchat. I heard Casey mention that she didn't have Lexi on Snapchat and asked for her username. I really didn't mean to eavesdrop, but they were speaking pretty loud. Lexi gave Casey her snap, and about 5 to 10 minutes later, Lexi mentioned in a confused voice that some random person added her on Snapchat.
Oh God.
I raised my head from my book a bit as my interest in what was being said suddenly increased. The other girls told Lexi to add the person to see who it was.
That's creepy.
A few seconds later, they were going on about how the person's Snapchat score was so low, only like 7.
Some weird guy.
I was really paying attention now. Apparently the person sent a message saying, "Hi, send me a pic." And then the 4 of them left. At this moment they were kind of whispering and giggling, so I couldn't really hear what was said. But after they all erupted in laughter, I could only guess they sent some kind of funny picture. After more silence, I got chills when I heard all of them scream. I grabbed my gun and ran outside to their tent. My sister screamed that there's someone outside of the tent. I shot the gun into the air 3 times as a warning, yelling into the woods at the same time. I then crawled into their tent where my sister hugged me. I of course asked what happened, pretending like I didn't already know half of it from listening to their conversation, and they explained everything. Lexi added the random person back, who then sent her the message mentioned earlier. As I suspected, she sent back an ugly group shot with her friends.
Hey guys.
The person then sent back a picture in response. It was a selfie picture of what they described as an old creepy dude, smiling at the camera, standing right in front of their tent.
Oh my God! The guy was right in front of the tent?
The bone listening to their story.
No. 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 Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, let's go.
I was freaked out myself. They all wanted me to sleep in the tent with them that night, so I did.
I don't know where to sleep. I've had that 22 like this. This is what I would be doing. I'd be holding 22 just like this, right at the door. Ready to shoot. Let's go. I'd be like, come on.
We cut the trip short and went straight for the car. could have been a great weekend memory with my sister turned into the biggest nightmare of both of our lives.
A creepy old man.
Hey, tell me if you guys, who's watching, if you got anybody's watching, tell me up in the comments who's watching me. Okay? Okay. Oh. I have to. It's just gonna feel good.
And selfie in front of the tent. Like, I'm so happy the brother was there, because if it was just the girls, that would not be good. I want to go camping though. Like, okay, I always wanted to go camping, but like, that's pretty creepy.
I just recently got into the whole Snapchat thing. My friends urged me to get it since everyone else my age has one. I got into the groove of it pretty quickly, and within a week my score was already 1,000. One day while shopping, I took a picture of a pair of shoes that I knew one of my friends really liked and sent it to her on Snapchat. She opened it after a few minutes, but didn't reply back. I sent her a chat asking, "What do you think?" She...
It's fun though. Let's just say that. It's fun. If he wants to watch this thing, he's better watch it. 'Cause I'm going out. Let's go.
She opened this one much later, but didn't reply.
I am. Oh, I spelled a lot of stuff wrong. Oh, yeah, I don't really care. I was just trying to type fast. No, you're watching my text. No, okay. Okay, there. Once you get this text, Tyler, I'm watching it right now. Okay, I'm going. Wait. Let me see if it... Because it's sent. Okay, I'm watching it right now. I'm starting it up. Boom.
I put on a sad face and took a selfie, captioned the picture, "What's up, why aren't you answering?" and sent it. She opened it immediately, this time replying in the chat, "Where are you?" I responded saying, "Home." Her emoji was appearing in the chat, indicating she had the chat box opened. She replied saying, "Where is home?"
That is not her.
"What do you mean?" Then she said, "What is your address?"
Don't give it to her.
It was at that moment I knew something was up. I closed the chat box and drove over to my friend's house. Apparently she had lost her phone the previous day. She explained everything to me. I left after talking for a few minutes to go home.
She lost her phone.
I pulled up to my house, and becoming a bit paranoid now, just looked around to make sure I wasn't followed or anything.
My gosh.
Both of my parents were out of town, and my brother was out of state, so I was home alone for the night. That night when I was laying in bed checking my Insta and Snap before going to sleep, I remembered I could just check where my friend's Bitmoji was on the map to track the thief. So I opened up the Snap map. Her Bitmoji was right on top of mine, on top of
I knew it.
I dove to turn off my lamp and shut the blinds.
That is so messed up.
Fear made me paranoid. I started to question whether I locked the front door.
My gosh.
Both of my parents were out of town, and my brother was out of state, so I was home alone for the night. That night when I was laying in bed, checking my Insta and Snap before going to sleep, I remembered I could just check where my friend's Bitmoji was on the map to track the thief. So I opened up the Snap map. Her Bitmoji was right on top of mine, on top of
I knew it.
I dove to turn off my lamp and shut the blind.
That is so messed up.
Fear made me paranoid. I started to question whether I locked the front door or even the back door.
My God.
But that didn't matter, because when I heard sounds coming from downstairs, below my room, I knew someone was in the house. I tiptoed to my bedroom door to lock it, then called the police. The operator asked me to stay on the line with them until the police arrived. When they arrived, it turned out nobody was in the house. It was just my paranoia playing tricks on me. We found my friend's phone in the backyard, hidden under a bush, screen still on with the battery in the 60% range, meaning he couldn't have been gone for too long. The next day, I returned the phone to my friend, and my parents came home, so I didn't feel scared anymore. I will, however, keep my location private on Snapchat from now on, and I recommend you do the same.
I don't even know how to do that. Like, apparently, like, you can see, like, where people are. I need to change my privacy. It's not good. It's not good.
It looks like one of this guy's fans just walks in.
Dude, Snapchat can be pretty creepy, though.
This happened a week ago.
Like, somebody stole that person's phone, or, like, they lost their phone and they were asking the address.
Up until a few days ago, I went to a small local gym in my now previous New Jersey town called Black Bear Fitness. One day, I had the misfortune of running into some skinny, awkward, yet creepy-looking kid, probably 18 years old. He didn't look like he belonged in a gym at all. I had headphones in and I was doing my set when I heard him saying something to me, but it was muffled by the music. I was already annoyed with this kid. He was breaking an unwritten rule of the gym. Don't try to talk to somebody when they're doing their sets. I took my time finishing my set, and then took my headphones out to ask if he needed something. Then he started acting like he looked familiar, but right away I knew this kid was just trying some pathetic attempt at making friends. I assured him I didn't, but the kid wouldn't stop talking to me. I'll skip most of the conversation, but eventually he actually asked me for my Instagram and Snapchat. Weirdly enough, that's so cool. Reason I gave them to him. Instead of just saying something like, buddy, I'm trying to work out, or I don't have social media. After I gave him my Snapchat and Instagram, however, I did kind of urge him to let me resume my workout. He finally seemed to get the message.
Let's go.
And walked away. Not without saying bye like 3 times though.
Kind of creepy.
That night I got a snap on my phone saying from Sean. I immediately sighed and said, oh no. Just wondering why the hell the kid would snap me. I opened the snap, and the kid was in a creepy, weird pose, face way too close to the camera, with his head resting in his hand and a half smile on his face.
That is so creepy.
The text over the picture was hey, with 2 Y's. Hey? I muttered the words, what the fuck?
Block him.
For the record, I'm a guy, which made this even more weird. It's true. My thought process was, I've had enough of this loser already. I'm gonna remove him and make it clear I don't want to talk if I see him at the gym again. And so I did. I removed him minutes after he sent that snap.
I'm scared.
I'm sure not even a minute later, again, a message popped up on my phone saying Snapchat from Sean. I waited a few minutes before opening it. This one was even creepier. Now the kid was sitting up on his bed, no smile, more of a surprised, angry expression. The text over the image said, why did you remove me? Now I went as far as to block him, meaning he couldn't snap me anymore. And that was that. I threw my phone on the desk and sighed out of relief.
I'm actually scared.
Half an hour later, my phone goes off, saying Sean added you as a friend, and then Snapchat from Sean.
I blocked him.
He actually made a new account. I opened the snap and felt my heart drop. It was a picture of my front lawn.
Answer me.
Out cold. Now I called 911. By the time they arrived, he was awake, cursing me out, promising he'd be back and kill me.
My God.
Cops heard it all. I didn't even have to make a case. The kid was an idiot. Luckily, the timing of this worked out well, because I just moved a couple days ago out of state. Only thing that worries me, I don't want to have to make a new Snapchat account, but anytime somebody new adds me on the app, I'll never know if it's secretly that Sean kid again.
That is insane. Okay,
Man. Okay, now I'll do Try Not to Laugh. Okay. Move there. Search.
Not quite that. But it'll feel like it. York, get the sensation.
We're back.
We're YouTubers? Well, you better, because you got scammed on freaking GTA 5.
Hey, that was not my fault.
Obviously, but I'm just saying, obviously that guy knew what the hell he was
I mean, if you have a chance to meet a modder and get free money on GTA 5, I think you'd take it. I'd take it. Not anymore. Okay. Right up. Back. There, Tyler. Is this better? Is this better? Oh. Mark is red. Somebody watching this.
Juno's always
Bang, bang, bang.
You're a crazy little kid.
What's going on, Bubby?
Get some shoot up. Bang, bang. Let's do some gaming stuff. Okay, guys, so that was live stream. See you tomorrow. And peace.